to me on the screen is Steven.
Hello.
Or for those listening in audio, it's just me and Steven, so you can't
Yeah.
see where we're positioned exactly. But yeah, anyway, episode 114. So today we're gonna talk about why we love multiverses. So I think Steven, I think over the years, the number of shows and movies with multiverses have like increased slowly. I think it
Sobra. My gosh.
I think
It's
it just ramped
insane.
up this year because um two movies with multiverse themes are like two of the best, two of the most popular movies in
Yeah,
right
agreed.
now. So
Yeah.
we had Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, which was fun.
It was
Everything
crazy. Like a
Everywhere
lot of
All at Once, which I would pick as
mm.
my favorite movie of the year. It's gonna be hard to
Mhm.
remove from that spot unless
Yeah.
something else appears. Unless Thor is really that good, it's like a
I think
time
there's also
spanning
Top Gun Maverick.
masterpiece. Top Gun
There's
Maverick,
lots of
yeah, we
options
can.
all of a sudden. Yeah.
I have to watch that one, but yeah, I guess we can start off by having a very simple explanation of what are multiverses. So yeah, I think in the basic definition, multiverses are just like alternate universes, parallel universes of the possibility of like what if the universe where everyone has to wear a cowboy hat or something. Bad example, but yeah. So yeah, multiverses are just different possibilities, different worlds. Multiverses can include different versions of people, including us. So we have a
Yeah.
multiverse version there, probably
I
having
mean,
some
for all we
superhero
know,
origin story.
yeah. For all we know, there's a universe where we're all like super rich tech tycoons or something. Who knows? Like, the multiverse is endless. You have in like cartoons like the DC animated universe. You have the Justice League, the Justice Lords. Like, there's so many things that can
Yeah,
come from the multiverse. An evil
and
you, a good you.
like tons of
Right.
media have like used multiverses as a way to spice up their storytelling,
That's true.
or it's
Very
like
true.
central to their storytelling. So that's
Mm-hmm.
big offenders or big like users of multiverses include comics. So Marvel and
That's true.
DC, not strangers to multiverses. Marvel has numbered Earths just to remind us how many universes they've made,
Same
and
with
that's
DC. Ang
interesting.
dami. My gosh. Sobrang
DC,
dami.
yeah, DC isn't really different because they have like their own set.
Earth 1, 2, 3, 4, and like the
Yeah,
DC animated universe is one of those Earths. So like
yeah,
nakakahilo, diba?
their numbers are not as high as what Marvel tends to give us, but yeah, they're
Yeah.
still it's still insane. So
52 in DC.
yeah, multiverses are in a way, just a way to like they're an endless universe of possibilities. So there's a chance that it allows for interesting storytelling from how we've seen, so many stuff. Comics just gave us a glimpse. I think my first multiverse story was House of M. House of M was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, Wanda Maximoff just going wild, and
Just uttering a phrase and basically destroying the entire universe.
yeah, but it's a great
Easy.
arc. I really remember that one because I love the part where Captain America and Iron Man are usually the centerpiece of major
Mm-hmm.
storylines. They were out of it. They were out of the way because Iron Man was busy using his powered armor to become like a sports entertainer, while
Vince
Captain
McMahon, Tony
America,
Khan type.
yeah, Captain America was the first mutant, therefore did not get into ice, and he's old. So
Oh
yeah,
my
I
god.
love that multiverse idea because House of M was like my first exposure to like a possibility of what if. Marvel What If, yeah, it's a great example always. So I
That's
guess we can
true.
go. Yeah, we can go to movies and shows with multiverses. So I put Spyverse on the screen, but yeah, it's Spider Verse. So Spider Verse is a great one. The many
Sobra. Oh
different
my gosh.
Spider-Man throughout
Yeah.
throughout the Marvel universe, or even the Toei one, because they bought that out. So Spider-Man is canon with his mech. So Super Sentai
Si Leopard
Spider-Man.
doon, di ba?
Yeah, Leopardon and SPDR, which was Penny Parker with her
Hmm.
robot, so with their sentient Spider-Man robot.
Also Spider Ham. There's like
Spider Ham, Spider
emo.
Noir, perfectly voiced by
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage. Really feel him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, one thing I want to see. I know we saw Spider Man 2099. I want to see Peter Parquois from 1602.
Oh
Yeah,
shit. That would be fun
and
actually.
interesting. We're having a sequel to Spider Verse, Across the Spider Verse. So part one,
Yes,
part two,
yes. I have a
and I
feeling we'll probably see a few like characters like yun nga, the Japanese Spider-Man. Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, I think if they're gonna base it, since they're pretty much like closely basing this on the comic, yeah, Leopardon and Spider Man are there because he used the Leopardon in one scene to help everyone
The
out.
emissary from hell. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it's a
Do you
really
think they're
good.
gonna
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna read the subtitles he says? Like since nga Spider-Verse does utilize the comic medium more, do you think that they're gonna do an Austin Powers and then like have the subtitles on the bottom and they're only the people in the universe can see it?
I think there's at least gonna be one self-aware moment. So
Cool, cool, yeah.
fourth wall. So yeah, especially Spider Verse where you have Spider Ham. At least
Oh,
Spider
I
Ham
love
can do something
Spider-Ham.
about that. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like this. Oh, Ben Reilly Spider Man, please.
Oh shit.
Fun.
That street costume, man. That street costume is
Target Spider
beautiful.
time. But yeah,
Yeah.
Spider Verse like gave us like is a very nice way of showing what the multiverse is. So
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is a pretty good
Oh.
Marvel movie. It's not okay. It's not on the pantheon of like the best Marvel movies there, but it's fun because
Mm-mm.
it's Sam Raimi horror in
Ah,
MCU,
okay.
and it works. And Doctor Strange went from bravely facing Thanos head on and to running away in a hallway from Scarlet Witch. So it was fun. But yeah, I like this multiple Earths. So finally canon that MCU is 616. So for those who haven't watched, spoiler alert on that. But yeah, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness just expands the cinematic universe's idea of the multiverse. So really great. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, my favorite
Yeah.
movie of the year. Yeah, it's just for those who've watched it and seen the pictures of the many multiverses that appear in the movie. Yeah, it's insane. It's fun, and it's one of the best. Yeah, it's one of the best ways of how multiverses are depicted. There's like such a good sci-fi film. Sure, I mean it's not as sci-fi as the other sci-fi films, but it's good because it's just this is one of those visually. It's a visual spectacle of a movie. It's
Hmm.
such a
Like, what's a good term to describe it? Like a visual feast for the eyes, parang ganun?
in a way, yeah.
It's a visual feast, yeah.
It also goes into sensory overload territory sometimes because there's just so
Mm,
many things like yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a really great film. It's a solid story. It has a solid story that's really
Mm.
cool, and I
And I
would
think you did
compare it to something
mention.
like Turning Red.
Oh, okay,
There's
okay,
something
okay.
about it, but yeah, it's
All
really
right,
good.
cool.
It's really fun. Can't spoil this one too much, but yeah.
Sige,
Next
sige. I
one
mean, for
is
all we know, it's gonna come out in cinemas locally, hopefully.
yeah.
Hopefully.
Next up we have Dark. So Dark is
Mm-hmm.
a Netflix show, German Netflix show, 3 seasons. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
one of the best. endings of any Netflix show. Thank God it didn't get canceled. They decided to just end it in the third season instead of,
Good,
because
good, good.
Netflix doesn't really count to four except for Stranger Things. I'm kidding. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they have a bad habit.
they have a bad habit of canceling things that could have had potential. So,
They're like
now
wrestling
there's,
refs. They can only count to three when to finish something.
yeah. I'm still bitter when Netflix canceled Glow season 4
Yeah.
because it needed a season 4.
Hmm.
So Dark is a more of a time traveling aspect in multiverse. So there's time traveling, cyclic time traveling, as in time intervals, and then there's a multiverse. So it's mind bending because you have to keep track of all the characters, and like there's a really huge character guide for Dark. So you really need to
Hmm.
read up on that if you want to catch up.
Is
But yeah,
Dark based on like a different medium? Is it based on a book, a comic book, or something, or is it like a purely TV show lang?
good question. Wait, let's give a quick look because I can't
Mm.
remember, but I don't remember it being on any comic.
Okay.
S-
Cool.
Science fiction. Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one of the
Yep.
best. It's one of the best multiverse shows. It's tightly written, as in everything is connected. That's what's the
Mm.
goal. That's it achieves its goal of like making sure that each episode matters in like building up the entire world, the world building of the show, because it's so confusing. It's so mind bending. I think I had Jackie watch season 1, and it was just so confusing for her because yeah, it really is. There's so many things there, but yeah, it's a really great show if you're into multiverses because it's just fun. It's
Mm.
some people compared it to Stranger Things, like calling it their German
Oh, okay.
version. But no, no, no,
Nice.
no. It's not. It's not. It's far
It's
off from
better than
Stranger
Stranger
Things.
Things.
The only thing that it has on Stranger Things, it has similar, is a missing
Mm.
child,
Okay.
and that's it. Like,
Hmm.
but yeah, the entire plot is just so good. It has time traveling and just so many multiverse aspects, and it's just wild. It ends perfectly, so that's one thing. Avengers Endgame. So Avengers Endgame like
Oh man.
kind of softly introduced multiverses to MCU, and we didn't notice it because all they wanted was time travel.
Yeah. Like we didn't even notice that. Wait a minute. So with time travel, all of a sudden you have this one straight line that suddenly spurs into different intersecting lines, diba?
Yeah,
Isn't that like the
and then
multiverse concept or something?
yeah, it
Yeah.
allows them to create branching possibilities, which is insane.
Nice.
People were waiting for Tom Cruise Iron Man somewhere.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, considering how active Tom Cruise is still with filming and movies, I would not doubt that he would give it a shot sometime. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't have to, but maybe for fun, who knows? Maybe we'll see a Tom Cruise Iron Man with the mustache and all. I mean, when was the last time we ever saw Tom Cruise with a beard though?
haven't. He hasn't really changed his look for like two
Yeah,
decades
he
now.
doesn't have
So
to.
yeah, that's something. Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame helped us branch out into different possibilities, which led us to What If and Loki. So Loki is just,
Mm.
Loki is a multiverse show because he saw many different versions of himself across different timelines. He has a crocodile version, a kid version, an old man version, the U.S. president version of Loki. So
Mhm.
everyone. So yeah, Avengers Endgame is the reason why we're in this multiverse mess now. They
Yeah,
went
I
on a
mean,
time travel
yeah,
pathway, and now it's everything is just messed up. So
yeah. But speaking
multiple
of
Earths.
multiverses, do you think this could backfire for Marvel in a way? Like, sa dami-dami ng mga, oh, here's a multiverse here, here's a multiverse A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Parang, would the viewer get confused? I mean, gets ko naman na in today's day and age, people will understand naman. Pero,
Yeah.
parang, ano eh, do you think like, for example, sa Doctor Strange, a little bit of spoiler lang, if you watched WandaVision, you will have a better idea of why Wanda is acting the way she is in Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Pero, what if you just want to watch the movies and you'd want to skip all the Disney Plus stuff? Like that's what I'm wondering. Eh. Parang what
Oh yeah.
happens if you're, 'di ba? Like could it backfire lang? Like
I
for
think
me lang.
that's. I think for the Disney Plus thing, yeah, that's tricky because it's hard to follow. But yeah, if there, I think the multiverse is a way for them to just like integrate the other heroes that they've been missing. So they've been missing Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Hmm,
They softly introduced them in a different universe. So I think that
that's
just
true.
allows them to just introduce all the other heroes and like while recognizing the original ones. So, Professor X is still Patrick Stewart. So
That's true.
that means they just alter the universe to have him there while still recognizing that the X-Men, the good and bad X-Men that we've gotten over the years, is still like canon to what we have. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think that's the thing. But yeah, I think if they introduce the multiverse into like there's a multiverse version of this and that in different movies or shows, that would be the confusing one. But if they're using it to introduce new characters, like the way they introduced Moon Knight and eventually Miss Marvel, that would be still
Yeah.
fine. Because
Hmm.
they're not using multiverse. They're giving them like their own story to just
Yeah.
to get into. So yeah, that's one. Next up we have No Way Home.
Oh. Hmm. The
No Way Home
memories, man.
is one of the best ways to just yeah, as we said, if Doctor Strange used their multiverse to like bring the X-Men, take the X-Men home in a way, and the Fantastic Four home to uh,
Yeah.
to the MCU. No Way Home took all Spider-Man in back home, so the fact that they recognize Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield is really fun. And I
I
love
mean,
that they
it's
just
weird.
reintroduced
Yeah.
the multiverse that way. I love that they started MCU Phase 4 multiverse in that moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way they do it.
Like, can I just share something about the Tobey Maguire movies? Like,
Yeah.
sobrang ganda na technically all of this. Honestly, a lot of this would not have happened if it wasn't for X-Men and the Spider-Man movies. This
Mhm.
whole this whole era of Hollywood, superhero movies being like the new cowboy western film would not have happened if it wasn't for those two movies. For me,
Mhm.
parang it's amazing that how many years on, 22 years on, we're still doing these kinds of movies. It's I can't recall kung gaano katagal yung western films naglast.
To
Pero
be
the thing with
fair, westerns sure were great for their time, but yeah, I think
yeah.
superheroes have are more gasting because they're more universal. So you
'Di
don't
ba?
have to understand what a cowboy is to enjoy
Yeah,
what
because
a
like for some
superhero
kids,
movie
it's
is.
such a foreign concept na eh, 'di ba?
Yeah, like cowboys are so American. Like sure,
Yeah.
superheroes are mostly an American
Mm.
written creation, sure. But the thing is, superheroes are like more flexible in storytelling. Like they're more
Yeah, that's
universal. Like
true.
every place, anywhere can have a any place can have a
Hmm.
superhero.
I mean, we have
We have
Alexandra Trece, we have Darna for
yeah,
local versions, 'di ba?
and if you're looking at it culturally, where we have a nice preference for mythical beings,
Hmm.
anywhere, any culture actually. So
That's
like we
true.
have we have either deities or superhumans in some form or another. So Philippines
Mhm.
here locally, it's Agamat, and we have our own set of gods. So it's
That's
really
true.
cool. But yeah, No Way Home is a great. It's a great film to watch if you wanna understand how multiverses can work in a movie,
Yeah.
in a storytelling
And
setting.
then
So
just seeing Alfred Molina come back as Doctor Octopus, tapos sobrang ang ganda kay oh, ito yung sobrang nagustuhan ko sa No Way Home. Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe, it's like
mm,
they never left the role.
yeah,
That's how good they are as actors. Na parang shit. I became 10 years old again watching No Way Home. Parang I went back all the way to 10-year-old me watching the movies in Green Hills when Green Hills didn't have all these extra parking buildings yet. It's insane how good they are. Tapos si Willem Dafoe, I felt got better in No Way Home.
yeah. I think he
Like,
had more. He
diba?
was more compelling as a character in No Way Home than
Like
even
he's
the first
creepier in the
Spider-Man.
original Sam Raimi films, but like he's more compelling as a villain in the Mark Webb film. Yun.
But yeah,
Grabe.
the
Yun. Anyway.
MCU has made the multiverse kind of their thing now. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Poor DC.
I think they really, yeah, they really nailed it there on how they introduced the multiverse. So they used it as a way to recognize the past of Marvel, non MCU Marvel, while
Yeah.
allowing them to just reintroduce or introduce new characters. So like they're gonna reintroduce Fantastic Four and X Men.
Oh man, I hope so. I hope so because like we
Because
already have hints.
yeah, because Reed Richards and Professor X were on Wanda's hit list. So
Mm.
and yeah,
And seeing the
thank
yellow.
God Black Bolt is there. Jesus Christ, at least. Oh, yeah, I think I said this on the previous episode, but yeah, Black
Yeah.
Bolt is a Fantastic Four character, right? Inhumans are Fantastic
Yeah,
Four
yeah.
in
The
a way.
Inhumans like, originated from the Fantastic Four comics.
So
So
yeah, because that's
shit.
one.
What if he is one of the Fantastic Four in
Oh,
that
that
world?
would
No?
be weird, but
Yeah.
I think I have I
Mr.
think
Steal Your Wife.
there are many ways that Fantastic Four could go. I don't think
Hmm.
they really showed. I think their Uncle Ben moment is when they transformed, right? When they were exposed to radiation.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's worth skipping that because I think they could have a way of changing how they get exposed to whatever cosmic thing they could do.
Hmm.
Because for all we care, they could have just went to the moon and have Terrigen mists in their face, and
Pwede, pwede.
yeah,
Pero
something
parang
like that.
parang for me kasi, I think the Fantastic Four origin kasi isn't told as much.
Well, they've
So,
they've told it on every version of the movie, but
yeah,
yeah,
but like
we
it seems
forget
ang laki
that
kasi ng
those movies
gaps between,
existed.
'di ba?
Yeah.
Like
So
the Chris Evans Fantastic Four, I love that movie. So campy, so colorful. Talagang they brought the comic out of the book into the screen.
let's forget that
Fan
Silver
Four
Surfer
Stick, we do not talk
exists.
about that shit. We do
Which
not talk
one?
about Fan Four Stick.
I
um,
also don't like Rise of the Silver Surfer.
the
It was too
cloud
good.
that is Galactus. Sobrang
Yeah, that was
sayang.
disappointing. But yeah,
The first movie was good though. That's all I can
MCU
say.
has the multiverse down pat. DC
Sobra.
pretty much had it actually with Crisis on
Yeah.
Infinite Earths, but the thing
Mm-mm.
is, due to their movies being a mess and
Yeah.
being up
It's
and
one of those weird,
down,
Sorry?
like in
Yeah.
terms of quality, like Batman was so good. Robert Pattinson's Batman was so great. Joker was
Mm.
good, sure, was good, but still very problematic as
Yeah.
as a film. But the
But Ben
thing
Affleck's
is,
Batman's wasted.
yeah, but the thing is, Joker and the Batman, sure, they're great redeeming pieces of DC cinema. The problem is, how in the world are you gonna make like a proper DC line? Their goal was to make like a cinematic universe similar to Marvel that you can
Yes,
easily
exactly.
follow. You can't easily
Mm.
follow DC now because their expanded stuff is like separate from the actual canon. Like
Yeah.
Suicide Squad is part of the DC canon, diba? Because
Mhm.
that's Batfleck Batman. That's
Yeah,
Batfleck
Batman, Batman,
DC
yeah.
canon and Henry Cavill mustache canon.
Oh gosh.
Um,
I need
But
Cavill back. We need Cavill back. Henry Cavill back as Superman,
yeah,
please,
it's so weird
please.
because Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad are in that canon timeline, and the
Actually,
and Joker and Batman are
or not.
Pattinson and Joaquin Phoenix are just
Yeah.
where are they? They're in that weird branch out section. So it's
Like
so
honestly, at this
unusual.
point, they should just call it Elseworlds para na at least may clear differentiation, diba? Para at least
Yeah,
okay,
I think they
here's the
should
DC
just use that
universe,
and
and then
make it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a great excuse to use it now finally, because
diba?
if DC can't make a proper universe, why not
Just
just
don't.
make? Why not? Yeah, why not just don't? Because Batman didn't need universes to be good,
Yeah, that's true.
and when it was in a
Uh,
universe, it was bad. So sorry, Ben Affleck.
uh,
We're
like
just
the only
riding on
time
your
Batman
version.
worked Sorry. The only time Batman worked in a universe for me was the animated universe. Kasi nga, they took their time. Feeling ko yung mistake ng DC is, nagmadali sila kasi they wanted to compete with Marvel so much. Tapos nangyari pa yung Warner sale to AT&T, the telecom company,
Mm-hmm.
around the same time. So parang feeling ko nagmamadali talaga sila. The executives wanted to get out of the way and just collect their money. And then wala na silang pake sa creatives. It's like whatever, do your own thing. Bye. It's feeling ko
Yeah, I
talaga
mean,
that's the reason why DC can't catch up to Marvel
they
sa
had a
movies talaga.
platform in Superman in Man of Steel,
Yes.
and they completely bungled that out by making Batman versus Superman.
I mean BVS was good, but the thing is it didn't tell the story. It dragged the story too much. Tapos, why would you rush Doomsday? Why would you rush him? It makes no sense.
Yeah, Doomsday
We
is like
barely
the
knew
long
Superman and you're gonna
overarching
get rid of him
villain.
immediately? Like, why? So,
Yeah,
sobrang...
like long overarching villain, and that expanded to Aquaman and Justice League, which didn't do
Oh, that
well.
went through a lot of shit. Like, I don't even want to get started on the Snyderverse. I'm not gonna touch
Yeah.
that.
The Snyder cut sure was nice, but the thing is you can't still redeem the entire thing just because you had a 4 hour cut that's
Yes.
black and white. So it's great,
So
sure.
true.
But the thing it's great, sure, yeah. Because they expanded a lot of the storytelling. But the thing is, yeah, it's like the damage has been done. So, they don't know what they're gonna do with it, but come on. If they're
It's
gonna do
crazy.
something like standalone, like Joker, Batman, that's great because it's good.
Yeah.
If they I think they could have done it for Superman, actually, just the solo thing, like just introduce what Superman is. But the thing is, people have wanted a Justice League movie for so long. But
Yeah.
the thing is, they've bungled that up, so they need to really find a way to redeem themselves. And come to think of it, I haven't watched Wonder Woman 84. I need to watch that soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also,
Uh,
I'm not familiar with Crisis on Infinite Earth, Steven, but how did that go for
okay.
CW DC?
So for Crisis on Infinite Earths, okay, it's an old comic book storyline from the
Hmm.
80s
Yeah.
wherein DC said na, oh, we have too many universes. Let's cram them all together into one big
Don't tell me
universe
this
na
is
lang.
their Secret Wars arc.
Yeah, in a way, it's like the Secret Wars. Tapos, ang nangyari in the comics is, Barry Allen sacrifices his life to save the universes, the different multiverses.
Hmm.
And then Wally West, still the best Flash for me, becomes the main Flash. And then his nephew or like great grandson, like Barry Allen's great grandson
Wally
becomes
West, you
the
mean
new
the Jason
Flash.
Todd of all Flashes? Joking.
Oh gosh, they just keep on killing him and bringing him back. It's just actually, yeah, that's a good comparison. Wally West is the Jason Todd of the Flash family. It's like, oh god,
Yeah,
they
he's the
just
one
bring
that
him
keeps
back
on
when it's
dying.
convenient.
Young Justice Wally West even fucking died, so that was
Oh,
sad actually.
it's just so like, why do you hate Ginger so much, DC? You're like, the only Ginger they love is Poison Ivy at this point, man. Like, wala na eh. I think there's
That's
more
the
love for Gingers in Marvel.
But yeah, to be fair, Wally West, yeah, is the Flash that I apart from Barry Allen, is the Flash that I like keep on seeing. And Wally West feels
Yeah.
like usually is more compelling in his storylines
Yes.
because
Diba?
like the fact that you know he might die on a lot of them is like always
Yeah.
high stakes. He's the high stakes Flash. That's why he
Yeah.
dies, I think, you know. All
The
he
thing
does
with
is high risk.
the thing for me with Wally West kasi, he always pressures himself to be like Barry Allen.
Mm-hmm.
So talagang may parang in a way, it's I guess it's like us in our age group na parang we're trying to prove something to ourselves and to the world that we're worth something. Wally West is trying to do that by becoming his own version of the Flash. Instead of always saying that I want to be like Barry, I want to be like Barry, I want to honor Barry's legacy. Pero we need to realize that we have to be ourselves talaga. It's yun nga, as in like you said earlier, mas compelling talaga story ni Wally West.
Yeah,
And yun,
because I always see
yun.
him in like he's like the Jeff Hardy as well. We can he's the guy
Yes.
that you
Keeps
know
getting hurt but
you
keeps
will
getting back
say
up,
you will
you know?
tell him no, but he will still swanton off to somewhere and you know somehow makes it pay off in a satisfying way. So that's one thing about it. But yeah, Crisis of Infinite Earths was CW. Was this the one with Superman and Batman?
No, no, no. The Crisis on Infinite Earths for TV mainly
Mhm.
focused on the TV show. So, Green Arrow, The Flash, sino pa ba? Legends of Tomorrow, and Batwoman, and
Okay, at
Supergirl.
least they got that. At least they got
Yeah,
that
they had a pretty good
combined.
lineup.
But yeah,
And then actually
CW
that was the
DC is weird,
sorry.
but yeah, I like it. But I think
Yeah,
it's good. It's fun in its own way because they were at least they had a
proper
proper
multiverse.
universe. Yeah, they had a proper universe, and they combined it. They combined it pretty all right because that's
Mhm.
one problem
Not
that
bad, not bad.
the
Like
cinematic one couldn't.
yes, exactly. Like ito yung weird eh. Nakakahiya sa movie universe na the TV universe did the multiverse better than the movies.
Mhm.
Not DC. And now here comes Marvel like, yeah, we'll do it. And then bam, look at that. Everybody loves the multiverse all of a sudden. It's like, all right, like, okay then. Like,
Mhm.
what can DC do then? Like, we just wish them good luck and hopefully Black Adam works and
Oh
Shazam
God,
2 works
I
because
hope Black
I
Adam
don't know anymore.
is the Rock, not just
Yeah,
being the
Black
Rock.
Adam is the Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
because
it fits
usually
now
when
with
you
the Rock
watch a
as well.
movie with The Rock, it's just The
Mhm.
Rock.
Yeah.
It's
I
not like
mean,
John
I mean,
Cena
there's
or
literally a
Batista
rock behind
where,
you in your photo right now.
yeah, but still, yeah, that's everyday
Yeah,
all plants rock.
the
But yeah,
Rock.
but the thing is with The Rock, kasi his roles
Mm.
are like it's just him.
Yeah. I mean, he's
But the
like the
thing,
classic 90s action star, diba? Na
yeah,
you
but the
knew what you
problem
were gonna get.
is, yeah, but the problem is it's him and it becomes too repetitive on every film he's in. It's just him
Uh,
on a different like occupation. So it's just so weird.
it's like
So
you watch
that's
The Rock in Jumanji versus Hobbs and Shaw. It's literally the same dude with a
yeah, see
beard.
that's where I'm coming from. I think compared to other wrestlers who have become actors like Batista and John Cena,
Yeah,
like John
totoo.
Cena wanted to get out of character so bad he went to become Peacemaker.
So it's like the ultimate asshole in the DC universe,
He
diba?
went from
Compared to like Goody Two Shoes. Super
children's
Cena.
inspiration, never give up John Cena, to a crazy patriotic freak with
Yeah, like
Italy.
it's crazy.
Which reminds
And
me,
I think honestly, yeah,
I need to finish Peacemaker. It's really fun.
yeah. I,
It's the
from what
best
I
John Cena
understand, I
performance
think
there.
John Cena and Batista are like the better actors talaga. Like they really study the craft versus The Rock, who's
Yeah, I
like,
mean
I'm The Rock.
Batista ends up being the muscle character in some of the movies he's in, but he gets
Dune.
something like Drax that
Yeah,
allows him
that's
to be
true.
like
That's true.
compelling and funny, you know. But that's
Hmm.
really good. But yeah, coming back to Crisis on Infinite Earths, I can't remember Steven. I remember they said Michael Keaton and Brandon Routh were coming back in some special.
That's not for Crisis on Infinite Earths. That
Yeah,
is
but
for. Oh
yeah.
wait, no. Yeah, Brandon Routh came back for Crisis on Infinite Earths, and
Mm-hmm.
that was his best Superman portrayal ever. No joke. Pero si Michael Keaton, supposedly he's being saved for Ezra Miller's Flash movie, assuming it even comes out. Because my
Oh,
goodness,
Flash
Ezra Miller needs
movie.
help. Yeah, that movie. Like
Well,
I see.
just don't shoot it in
Yeah,
Hawaii or something.
it's just
But no, I think yeah, they're
Ezra
gonna.
Miller needs help.
Ezra Miller is a mess of a person right now. So I think yeah. See, even their stars are having problems. So DC is
It's so
like
bad.
I don't know what's wrong with the DC expanded universe, but it's cursed or it's cursed in some
Yeah,
way.
curse man. Just don't
Like
do
thank
it.
God we had Joaquin Phoenix and Robert Pattinson to like kind of save the DC face,
That's true.
but they're
That's
not
true.
canon. Suicide Squad James Gunn was good as well. So
Oh yeah, I heard
that
it's
was
really
fun.
good.
Peacemaker, yeah. See,
Mm.
all you need
Speaking
are
of
those
multiverses, yeah,
smaller pieces to just go. I would say I would have wanted a Superman that's kind of like in the lines of Joker and the Batman. But the problem is Henry Cavill is already okay as Superman, already good as Superman. He's like
mm.
there. He looks like Superman. He's a geek outside of screen, off screen, and but the thing is, he's already better. He's already a better Geralt than he was Superman in Witcher. So that's one.
Yun nga eh, like that's the challenge eh. Like, how do you pull back? How do you get Henry Cavill back if he's having so much fun as Geralt? Parang, paano na yun?
Yeah.
Parang,
To be fair, the
how?
Superman curse for
Yeah.
Henry Cavill was not was kind of different for him because the Superman curse was that he's so much better outside of being just a
I think
Superman.
it helps that, hindi, feeling ko for him kasi the curse is that he could never do it more than 3 times. Sadly.
Oh shoot, yeah. Come to think of it, wait, he
Diba?
already did
Man
it.
of Steel, BVS, and Justice League. 3 times lang.
Oh yeah, well,
Diba?
yeah. Superman is a very like scary role to take on,
Yeah, it's like the
especially
James Bond of superheroes.
it's the sure there's a reputation of like the prestige of the character, but the thing is like even the actors, but there's like a Superman curse,
Yeah.
and Brandon
Recently
Routh,
just redeemed himself, yeah.
yeah, and the thing is Brandon Routh's curse was kind of sad because he didn't really have a big role out after that.
Yeah, like the only
Compare,
other big role for me that I remember is Ray Palmer, the Atom. But that's
yeah,
it.
and now Henry Cavill at least kind of got out of it by being Geralt, you know.
Yeah, like by leaving the role, he actually did better for himself. And like
Yeah,
a
so
part of me feels like maybe it's just best for Henry Cavill to let go unless he really wants to come back. He needs a compelling storyline too.
mhm.
It's like Jim Carrey saying na gusto ko na mag-retire unless the Sonic 3 storyline is good enough for me to come back as Fat Robotnik.
To be fair,
Sabi niya, diba,
I think that's
he
gonna
wants to come
be
back as Fat
yeah. I think
Robotnik.
there's no problem for him coming back. Oh, but yeah, for Henry Cavill in that sense,
Yeah,
I
ang
think
problematic
you can just
talaga.
leave. There are many people that look like Superman that they can get. To
But
be fair,
nobody can be Henry Cavill's Superman for me. Like
yeah,
nobody can like top that. Like
but
kahit
yeah,
ilang moments lang
it's
sa
really
ending ng
difficult.
Justice League. Sorry?
Um, it's really difficult to find someone. But
Yeah.
you know what? Speaking of James Bond, this let Henry Cavill be James Bond if they want.
Yeah, dude, I don't mind, man. He'd be a good James Bond. He'd be like the buffest
It's
Bond of
not
all.
Idris Elba because Idris Elba can do
Oh.
anything now.
Yeah, he can be an echidna, he can be a robot. He's everything. He's everywhere.
If you watched, yeah, but yeah, he's really. But yeah, coming back to
Dot dot dot.
multiverses, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's just so many multiverse shows that
So
it
many.
can be really confusing. But yeah, I think it's best to just pick one and enjoy
Yes,
one of
exactly.
them.
Exactly.
Good recommendation. Yeah, sure. You can watch Dark because it's a series. You can just follow
Mm-hmm.
that. It's a solid. I would say I was gonna say it was a straight line, but no, it wasn't. So because it was a
Okay.
multiverses don't have straight
Straight
lines.
line.
They have branching paths that just mix
That's right.
together and hopefully converge into something in the middle. So
Mm-hmm.
I think a good start would be everything ever all at once because
Okay.
yeah, because it they introduced the multiverse
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they make it central to the plot by while still not making it like uh
Overwhelming
as
for the viewer,
yeah,
no?
overwhelming. It's not like
Yeah.
hardcore sci-fi multiverse thing.
Mm.
It's there as a story progression mechanic. So
Mhm.
it's really good in that way. Spider Verse could count as that.
Yeah, I mean Spider-Verse kasi
Mm,
there's only one movie at the moment. So you
mm,
don't have to like overwhelm yourself. I
yeah,
mean,
and that
I mean there's nothing
it's an
wrong with
easy
reading the
thing.
comics, but the thing is, ang hirap sa comic books kasi in Western comics usually to this not usually not manga. Pag Western comics kasi like okay, can I just rant a bit before we finish the show?
Yeah, let's go.
There's an upcoming storyline for DC called Dark Crisis.
Oh
Nakita ko
no.
yung checklist. They have a checklist. Oh, you have to read comic A, comic B, comic C, and then you get Dark Crisis 1, and then you get comic D, E, F, and then you
Mm.
get Dark Crisis 2. It's like, don't overwhelm yourself with that. Just watch the movie.
This is why
You'll
I
get the
work.
same idea.
This is why I'd rather watch stuff now than read. Sadly,
'Di ba?
if there was one
Compared to
thing I want
manga.
to read now, it's the Sandman
Yeah.
because that one's done. At least
Yeah,
that's
it's
done.
done. It's done.
Yeah, the only thing about Sandman, it's pretty lengthy though. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really a
It's
long
a
read
long series.
because Neil Gaiman just like poured his heart and soul to that thing. It's really good
He
though.
went all out. Let's just say that. He
Yeah,
went all
but yeah,
out with
it's one of
Sandman
the
during his
best.
Vertigo days.
It's DC, right? Constantine is there.
It's DC Vertigo, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good. I was gonna say, does Sandman have multiverses? No, no, no. I don't
It
think it had.
probably
It
does.
had
I
time
don't know. Not too
traveling. I don't know.
familiar.
Yeah, I think it's just them being old gods, being so
Yeah.
old. Because I
I
remember
mean,
they
there's gonna
just
be a TV show. We'll see.
yeah they just live. They just live. I mean
Yeah,
they're
man.
immortal pretty much. So you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, movies and shows with multiverses. Recommend with starting something like Everything Ever All at Once or Spider
Hmm.
Verse because
Yeah,
those are
those are probably the best
standalone
starting
works that
points.
you can just watch and enjoy and
Hmm.
understand what the multiverse is. Dark is a good one. We may
Hmm.
be missing ones that are not comic or non sci-fi.
But it's a long list, so it's
Yeah, but
understandable.
yeah, we'll be able to hopefully compile one in Geeky One's article if ever. So that's gonna be
Yeah.
cool. Last thing before we close, I think this is a good question. Why do we love multiverses or why we love it? I'll just start.
Mm.
I think I like the idea of like alternate timelines, alternate possibilities because in a story you rarely get options. You rarely get alternatives. A story is a linear path, diba? Most movies, most media would tell you a story would go to a linear path. But the thing is, I think viewers right now or viewers players who play to a story, I think the option of choice has become like stronger and stronger than before. Choose your own adventure books. Steven, I guess you know what choose your own adventure books are. That's really
Oh
cool.
yeah, the choose your own adventure books. Yeah, I remember those. Those
Yeah,
are
so I
fun.
think
Like turn to
I
page
think
15.
yeah, diba? And then you don't
Yeah.
read the section that you skip. Diba? That's the cool part. But I think yeah, that's one thing. I think I like multiverses because it gives like alternatives, a what if question. Because some people aren't satisfied with stories, like with the end. Like, what if this happens? So multiverses answer that question. I think it's also a way to like it's also a way of escapism for us viewers because it allows us to like think of like what if we have our own multiverse? We have our parallel universe versions of ourselves that are, have hot dog hands or something. But yeah, it's really weird. So anything, what if there's an alternate universe where we're just that wobbling man with the fan in car conventions. I forgot.
Wacky
Yeah.
waving inflatable tube, man.
Wacky wavy inflatable tube man. What if
Woo.
there's a universe where all of us are just well that's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a.
Yeah.
I think I like that. I like how multiverses allow you to explore different possibilities, and you can even alter entire storylines if you want to. I think it's very convenient for something like Marvel or DC to use because it allows you to just retcon softly without without completely retconning it. You can just write it off as like this was an alternate event. So
That's true.
this
That is
so
true.
I love that aspect of storytelling. And but if you're going for like single movie or like an entire series of multiverses, yeah, it's really good because it's just fun because imagine your only opponent sometimes is your multiverse self. So that's kind of cool. It creates compelling storylines. It's a great sci-fi mechanic. I know
Yep.
there was a phase where sci-fi movies were all space.
Yeah,
Star
that's true.
Trek,
In the
Star
70s,
Wars,
diba?
diba?
Yeah.
For like until the 2000s it was sci-fi, space, the final frontier and things. Now we're in the multiverse, so that's our
Yep.
version of sci-fi. I think I would like uh more media to explore multiverses, but it's really tricky
Okay.
because yeah, it's hard to make a compelling one because comics can do it easily. It's easy
'Di
for them,
It's
diba?
such a different world talaga for them eh. Kasi
Yeah,
in a way, pages give you more freedom in a way.
yeah, it does, it
Unlike
does.
okay, kasi why I guess I'll add na rin why I like multiverses is that you're only limited by your imagination.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't have any limits at all. The possibilities are endless. Like you can have yun nga, like you said earlier, it's more of just reiterating na anything can be a part of there's always an alternate universe somewhere na maybe there's a world where we're all food of some kind, stuff like so many. But yeah, in general, for me, the reason why multiverses are good is because the possibilities are endless, no matter the medium. Sometimes some mediums like comic books can tell a much wider story. Read
hmm
DC Rebirth, that's one example. But there's just so many. But it really is up to the viewer and up to the reader on like how they want to consume the mediums. And yeah, the media, sorry. But
yeah,
that's pretty
it's
much
true.
it for me.
Yeah, so yeah, multiverses are fun, and if done right, allows you to just create like a lot of new media in between. So it's a concept that I think more movies and shows would try to explore. It's really difficult to pull off, but if you do pull it off, it's one of the best like storytelling mechanics, and actually makes expands your story to great lengths. Now say like Marvel and DC did. So yeah, I guess that's it for the episode. So um, for our website, you can take a look at thegeekyones.com. So we haven't posted much yet, but we're gonna post a few more articles, game reviews
That's
coming
right.
up, and there's just so many things coming up this year. So it's really cool. For our social media, just follow the Geeky Ones at the Geeky Ones. TheGeekyJuans.
Yes,
It's the
that's
same
right.
handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. So that's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. Um, for the audio version of this podcast, you can listen to it for free on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Player.fm, and other podcast platforms. So
That's right.
we're pretty much everywhere. Now, uh, for me, you can follow me at Dude It's Jude on Facebook. So I'm not streaming right now, but I'm mostly posting YouTube vids of my Yu-Gi-Oh replays and deck profiles. So if you're into
Mm-hmm.
Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel, so you can take a look at that. Take a look at my videos and channel. So that's really cool. Now for Steven, you have Stevie said yep. So your
That's
your
right.
goal here.
So it's more of a personal blog of me just doing other geeky stuff besides the podcast. So things like learning how to play hockey, you'll find it there, and among many other things. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for us. So that's episode number 114 and why
Hmm.
we love multiverses. So um, yeah, that's a wrap for this episode. I was gonna say this week, but we're not a weekly episode podcast now.
Yeah.
So that wraps up our episode for today. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you for those who are listening and or watching. So we'll see you next episode. So yeah, bye guys.
Bye.